The Democrats have gotten so ridiculous that they may have finally turned Bill Maher into a card-carrying conservative. He said that this election cycle, his vote might be up for grabs. Let's check it out.
Like, if this is where the Democratic Party is going, where this democratic socialist, this obsession with Israel, with the Jew hating, with they don't believe in capitalism, no prisons, if this is where they're going, my vote is in play.
Okay.
And
I like to hear that.
It actually always has been. Every year, I don't make my decision by who has an R or a D. I actually always came to the conclusion that the Democrat was probably better.
Sure.
And voted for them.
Okay.
And Trump
How's that
can't
working
run
out for you,
again,
Bill?
and he'd be a little too exciting for me anyway.
California smells like piss.
So it's either going to be you or Rubio.
Now, he elaborated a little bit more in his monologue why he's thinking this way, and we'll check that out in a second. But I just want to point out that I think it's funny that the number one gripe he has is the Democrats just don't support his tribe anymore. That's an issue for him. And I want you to know I made a funny short for y'all that's going to be at the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned for that.
This is big news in this country. I don't know if you saw what happened in New York. There were 3 candidates for this. These are the primaries. They are going to win the election, so there are going to be 3 Democrats in Congress. These are Mandami's people. These are democratic socialists, I think very different than the Democratic Party. What happened is, for years we've been asking young people to vote. Well, now young people are voting, and they're voting to abolish the police, abolish prisons, unlimited immigration, so no cops, no prisons, no borders, proving for sure that eating Tide Pods does cause brain damage. There's one candidate, she will be a congressperson from New York's 13th district, who the New York Times asked her if someone murders someone randomly, should they go to jail? Couldn't get her to say yes for that. She says, no more police ever, at all, ever. She says, our veterans are war criminals. She said, fuck Kamala Harris, and Joe Biden is a rapist. So there is a woke mind virus, and I think we found patient 0.
Now, if you're losing Bill Maher, you got big problems. I mean, he has been part of the liberal mind virus, somebody with TDS for as long as I can remember. But even he is getting sick of it. Now, I think the thing that really drove him over the edge is the fact that they're no longer, down with his tribe or whatever. But he actually still lives in California, I believe. So he sees all of the degradation and debauchery and drug use that's going on every day. And it's become... he can't ignore it anymore. But I think Spencer Pratt, the guy who was running for mayor, that election probably got stolen too. I mean, it's LA. They just send ballots to everybody. When I lived there, I got like 7 ballots for people that lived there for years. He had an interesting take on what's really going on there. Let's check that out. Spencer says that, they're recently passing rent control. They already have some in LA, but they're trying to do more. And obviously they're doing it in New York. They're not freezing your rent. They're freezing your housing provider's income, while the expenses keep increasing. Now, people kind of forget that landlords are people too. They have expenses, they have a life. They're trying to make some money. It's not all these big faceless corporations that all these dumb, retarded socialists like to pretend is who owns everything. These are people that put their life savings into a secondary house so they can have some income. The point is to make your housing unaffordable. It's to make providing housing financially not possible for these people, so the governments can seize the unmanageable properties. So this whole idea that these people are just total retards with pink hair and they ate too many Tide Pods and they're just doing all this retarded BS because they don't understand or know any better is totally backwards and dumb and totally an underestimation of what we're facing here. This is an organized collapse. This is an organized collapse of the government and our way of life, and to drive people out. So it's like, say you're a big corporation, you want to buy these properties from these people that have owned these properties for 20-30 years, and property rates have increased 10, 20, 30 fold. What do? Well, you let the place burn down. You let it turn into a homeless encampment. You give people drugs. It's like that old meme where some gang member or somebody that lives in the hood wants to keep the property values down so he can keep living there. He goes outside his door and blasts his gun off a couple of times, right? It's the same thing. That's what they're doing. This is not an accident.
There's only one way to keep the rent low around here. Take that with your gentrifying.
Well, guys, that's going to be about it for me tonight. It's a late night. I got to go wake up in the morning and take care of my 15 kids. We're almost to the 30 subscribers, so once we get to the 30 subscribers, we're gonna do the t-shirt giveaway. It's gonna be the freshest t-shirt in the top of my drawer, so make sure you subscribe so you can be eligible for that. And I just want to say I really appreciate you guys being here on the ground floor, and I hope you have a blessed morning and a great day tomorrow, and I'll see you soon.